Okay, let's try this again. The live stream went out again. Fun. Not really. Of course that would happen today. That's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. All right. So, I'm going to wait. No one's really logging on. Actually, let's just get started. Hopefully people will start logging back on to the live stream. Hey, sorry about that. The live stream went out again. My internet sucks. But, yeah, it's okay. So, let's get started. Yin Yoga today. Kidney, urinary, bladder, meridians. We're working on opening up, harmonizing. Grab props if you'd like to use them. Pillows, blankets, bolsters, blocks, books, whatever you have. And let's get started in butterfly pose. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe sit up on a blanket, a bolster, a pillow, a block. Maybe place blocks or pillows underneath the knees. And let's just, I had a yoga for feet request, so I'm just going to add in a little foot massage right at the beginning. So if you want to just start by massaging out the feet, giving yourself a nice little massage, working into that fascia or that tissue, that sliding tissue that helps your feet move. That can kind of get blocked up or stuck. Massages are good for that. Hopefully my live stream won't go out again. If you see me doing random movements like this while we're in it, it's just because I'm making sure the live stream is still going. Hopefully, usually it only happens once, so hopefully that was the one time. All right. While you're sitting here, begin to close the eyes, relax the face. Slow the breath down, lengthening your inhales, lengthening your exhales. Maybe taking a few exhales out through the mouth to sigh out your day. Really let it all go, even whether it was good or bad or neutral. Let go of whatever happened before you came here today, and let go of anything that might happen after. Allow yourself to be present. Then, if you took a few exhales out through the mouth, you can begin to close the lips and just breathe in and out through the nose now. Maybe even adding your ujjayi breath, if that's in your practice, by constricting the back of the throat, kind of making a ha sound, but with the lips closed. Whatever type of deep breathing that you're doing, really listen for the sound of your breath. Focus on that sound. Focus on the breath. If you find your mind wandering off, and it will, that's okay, bring your focus back to the breath. The kidneys are the mansion of fire and water, the residence of yin and yang, the channel of life and death. They link the past and the future. From Francesca Diebschlag. I hope I said that right. The kidney bladder pairs of meridians and organs in Chinese medicine are the foundations of yin and yang balance. There are foundations of yin and yang balance for all the other organs. Like the primordial parents, they are fundamental for birth, metamorphosis, and reproduction. The kidney meridian flows up the interior and center of the body, while the urinary bladder meridian flows down the entire back of the body, and the kidney organ opens up into the bladder. It's from Insight Yoga by Sarah Powers. So, the kidney and urinary bladder meridians. Actually, if you're sitting up tall, you can stay sitting up tall and massaging the feet if you'd like, but if you'd like to start to get into the hips a little bit more, begin to fold forward, and you can just let the spine round. Maybe bring the palms to face upward so you're not tempted to pull yourself forward, and instead let gravity do the work for you. Use your breath to help you release tension. And let the head be heavy, or maybe place a prop in between your torso and legs or underneath your head. Could be blocks, pillows, blankets. Make this pose yours. Listen to your body and find your edge. So that there are 12 meridians in Yin Yoga. 10 of them you practice yoga for, and there are meridian pairs, so one organ will be paired up. One organ meridian was paired up with another organ meridian. The kidney meridian is the Yin meridian we're working with today, and then the urinary bladder meridian is the Yang meridian that we're working with today, and they are a pair. They're associated with the element of water. The functions of this meridian pair is that they regulate water volume, they coordinate respiration, and they also store Jing, also known as our essence. They are associated with the emotions of fear and wisdom. And some signs of disharmony may be unable to let go of things and or people, the inability to trust yourself and or others. And other signs can also be like depression, or anxiety, kind of holding back from doing things because of fear. There are some signs of disharmony. So let's take a few more breaths here, finding stillness. And sitting in this pose in silence for a few moments. On your next inhale, slowly begin to roll back up to sit up tall, and then bring the hands to the outer thighs first to help you bring the legs back toward one another. Reach the legs out in front of you. Have them about hip width distance apart. Toes point up toward the sky, but let the legs relax completely. You can have a bend in the knees if you'd like. Maybe even place a rolled up blanket or blocks underneath the knees. Feel free to stay sitting up on any props that you were using if you were. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, begin to round the spine forward, over the legs, maybe bringing a prop in between your legs and torso, maybe bringing props underneath the head. Try to bring the hands, again, out in front of you, but facing upwards so you're not tempted to pull yourself forward, and instead let gravity do the work for you. Use your breath to help you let go of tension. In turn, you may find that the longer you hold the pose, as you breathe, and as you let gravity do its work, you might find that you fold further into the pose. Or you may not, and you may want to stay in one spot for the whole time. Find your edge, the balance between effort and ease. The point in the pose where you feel sensation, but it's not too overwhelming, should never be painful, and it's not too underwhelming so that you don't feel anything. Let the legs relax completely. Let every single muscle relax completely. Belly, the shoulders, the face. And if you haven't already, close the eyes. Focus on the breath.
When you're ready, on an inhale, blink the eyes open and slowly begin to roll up through the spine.
One vertebra at a time, coming back to sit up nice and tall. Then from here, make your way onto your belly. Have props nearby, maybe a pillow, a blanket. For this next pose, we're going to come into a little back bend, stretching out the back of the body, the low back, especially where those kidneys are located. We're coming into Sphinx. So on your belly, bring the forearms out in front of you. Elbows are either right underneath the shoulders or a little bit forward. Try not to have them back so you're collapsing in the heart. You want to lift that heart space up. Then relax the legs completely. Maybe bring the feet a little wider than you normally would in a Hatha or Vinyasa class. So about hip width distance or shoulder width or mat width distance, depending on your body, how it feels for you. Let the belly relax. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Eyes closed. Face is relaxed. Your inner gaze is straight out in front of you. And for less intensity, you'll bring the arms further forward. For more intensity, further back. But don't let them come back behind the shoulders. And to add a little more intensity, you can also add a prop underneath the forearms, like a blanket is a good one, folded up blanket. I'm going to do that. Once you arrive, begin to focus on the breath. We'll be here for about 3 minutes. Really notice any emotions that come up, but try not to make any attachments or judgments about them. Just accept them. So you may notice in each pose, since we're holding them for long periods of time, you may notice yourself become irritated at some points, and you may notice yourself really enjoying the pose and just really enjoying the sensation. And it may flip back and forth a few times in each pose. And maybe you just enjoy it the whole time. Maybe you're kind of irritated the whole time. But just notice your emotions and accept them. Breathe through them. Don't get worked up about them. If it's a quote negative emotion, the only reason we get like caught up in our emotions is when we get worked up about them, really kind of focusing in on that negative emotion. Just notice it and accept it. On your next exhale, bring the arms out in front of you. Lower the chest down. You can move your props out of the way if you're using any. I'm just going to do that. Bring the arms to like a diamond shape up above the head. Bring the right ear to the mat. And then reach the right knee up towards the right elbow on the ground. You can take a look at the screen if you'd like. Just releasing and neutralizing the low back. We'll take a few breaths here.
On your next inhale, right leg reaches back to meet the left. Still a little wider than hip width distance apart. And then come back into your Sphinx pose, bringing the forearms back down to the earth. You can choose to stay in your Sphinx, or maybe you'd like to take it into Seal by turning the fingertips out in either direction, pressing into the palms and lifting the elbows up. To add intensity, you can walk the hands further in. For less, you can walk them further out. Maybe add a blanket underneath the hips. This is something new I saw or I learned today from the book I was reading. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try it now. Let the legs relax completely. Let the belly relax. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. The eyes are closed. Relax any unnecessary tension from the face. Unclench the jaw. Unfurl the eyebrows. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Bring the focus to the breath. Feel the sensations in your body and also feel the emotions that come up. Once again, try not to make any attachments or judgments about those emotions or even the sensations. Try not to make any judgments about how this pose looks in your body or how you think it should look. It's different for everyone. Just go by how it feels. You feel a nice stretch. Maybe it's intense. Maybe it's not too intense, but you still feel sensation. Maybe you need to take a step back. Maybe you need to take a step forward. On your next exhale, carefully lower the chest back down. You can remove any props or keep them there. I guess it doesn't really matter. Bring the hands back to that diamond shape above your head. Left ear comes to the mat, and then bring the left knee up towards the left elbow. Taking a few breaths here to release and neutralize the low spine after those back bends. Inhale, reach the left leg back to meet the right. And then from here, we're going to press the hips back into child's pose, taking a little bit of a different stretch in the back body, targeting opening up that urinary bladder meridian. You can have the knees wide or the knees together. Hips reach back toward the heels, lower the forehead down toward the earth. Maybe you bring a prop underneath the forehead. Maybe you bring a prop underneath the torso, or two, however many props you want to use. Sorry, I thought the screen froze. And maybe you can bring a pillow or a rolled up blanket or just a folded blanket in between the backs of the thighs and the calves. You can keep the arms reaching out in front of you or bring the hands back by the feet. Whatever is best in your body. And I also learned today while researching about the kidney and urinary bladder meridians that sometimes if you are someone that experiences a lot of lower back pain, that it could be disharmony with your kidney and urinary bladder meridians. So these poses are really good to help harmonize those meridians and can help prevent that low back pain that you might be experiencing. On your next inhale, bring the gaze forward in between the hands, and then slide yourself onto your belly again. From your belly, roll on to your back. Just gonna move this prop out of the way. Have your props nearby. Bring the arms out to a T or cactus shape with the palms facing up. Bring the legs to about a 90-degree bend. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, gently let the legs fall to the left side. Try to keep that right shoulder grounded. Chest is pointing straight up at the sky. Maybe you bring props underneath the knees. You don't have to come all the way down to the ground. Maybe you bring your left hand to the right outer thigh. Your gaze can either be straight up at the sky or over the right shoulder. Really relax into the pose. Notice where you're clenching or gripping and try to let go. Relax the belly, relax the shoulders, relax the face and close the eyes. Send the breath into that belly. Feel the belly and chest expand with each inhale. And then contract with each exhale. Watching the breath move in your mind. On your next inhale, slowly bring the legs up through center. And exhale, gently let them fall over to the right side. Left shoulder stays grounded, chest points straight up at the sky. Maybe you bring props underneath the legs. Maybe you bring the right hand to the left outer thigh. Try not to pull down on it though, just let it gently rest there. So try not to grip or clench in the body. Really let go of any muscle. Okay, I hope this is still working. I don't know what's going on right now. Can you still see me? Okay, sorry, my screen just closed. Okay. All right. I hate technology today. All right, anywho. Back to our twist. Gaze can either be straight up at the sky or over the left shoulder if that feels okay on you. Breathing deep into the belly. As if you could fill your entire body with breath. On your next inhale, gently lift the legs up through center. Actually, no, sorry. Stay to the right. Bring the left hand down to the right side and push yourself up to a seat. We're going to take another forward fold. This time we're going to bring the legs wide. You can sit up on a prop if you'd like. I'm going to sit up on a blanket again. That can kind of help you helps the pelvis tilt forward, so it's easier for you to fold. You can also sit up on a pillow, block, or whatever props you have. You can keep the knees bent, but let the legs relax completely. Maybe place some props underneath the knees, like blocks or rolled up blankets, or the pillows too. You can stay sitting up tall here, breathing like so. Maybe close the eyes. Or you can begin to fold forward, letting the spine round. The head is nice and heavy. Bring the arms out in front of you with the palms facing up so you're not tempted to pull yourself forward. Let the head and neck relax completely. Shoulders roll away from the ears. Feel free to bring props like a bolster, pillows, or something underneath the torso. You can also bring stuff underneath the head. You can kind of make like a ramp out of props for you to lay on, like by bringing a bunch of pillows under, or stacking a bunch of pillows, or even bringing blocks underneath the bolster. Set this pose up for you, for what your body wants. Make sure you're still feeling a nice stretch. Notice that at points if you feel irritated. Notice if you're just thoroughly enjoying the stretch. What's going through your head. But try not to make any attachments to those thoughts, those feelings. Notice them. Don't get worked up about them. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands in, rolling up through the spine to sit up nice and tall. Blink the eyes open, bring the hands to the outer thighs, bring a bend to the knees if they're not bent already, and slowly use your hands to help you walk the feet toward one another. We come into a nice little hip opener here, square pose. So you're going to bring the left shin parallel to one edge of the mat, or about parallel. Keep the feet flexed. And then you're going to try to stack the right shin on top of that. And if you notice this right knee coming up pretty high, you can bring some props underneath there, a block, a couple pillows, blankets, whatever you have. You can still stay sitting up on the props if you were using anything to sit up on before. You can stay sitting up nice and tall here, let the eyes close. Or you can begin to fold forward over the legs, maybe placing some props in between your legs and torso, maybe placing props underneath the head. Whatever feels best for you. You can bring the arms out in front of you with the palms facing up again. Keep the sit bones reaching back. Let the head and neck relax completely. Relax any unnecessary tension from the face. Let go of any gripping or clenching. But keep the feet flexed to protect your knee and ankle joints. And breathe here. Really send the breath into that right outer hip area. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands in, rolling up through the spine, sitting up nice and tall at the top, with the eyes open, and then we'll switch sides. So place the right leg down, shin parallel with one edge of the mat, and then the left shin stacks right on top of that. Place any props that you need in between the knee and foot. Sit up tall to start. Take an inhale. You can stay here or maybe begin to fold forward. Rounding the spine. Relaxing the head and neck. Keep the feet flexed to protect your knee and ankle joints. Bring your focus back to the breath. As you breathe, feel that belly expand, maybe even touching the legs or any props that you're using. And as you exhale, feel the belly pull back in towards the spine. Watching the breath with your mind. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands back in again, rolling up through the spine, sitting up nice and tall. Blink the eyes open. Carefully, slowly uncross the legs. And then make your way, let me think, I forgot. I did decide that, okay. We can do a little inversion at the end, just a small one, if you'd like. But first, we're gonna come onto our backs and come into stirrup pose, as it's called in Yin, otherwise known as happy baby. Just gonna put my sweater on because I'm cold. All right, so lying on your back, hug the knees in, bring the knees wide toward each shoulder, then bring the soles of the feet to point up towards the sky. You can either have your hands at the backs of your thighs, you can have your hands at the outer calves, the outer ankles. You can bring each peace fingers around the big toes, or you can bring the hands around the outer feet. Wherever you're at, try to lengthen the tailbone down. This time, find stillness instead of rocking a little bit from side to side. Close the eyes, relax the face. Try not to pull on the legs. Just let there be a light weight on the hands and the legs. Opening up into the hips a little bit more. You can choose to stay here with the legs bent or reach one leg out for about a minute. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it's shaking the whole house. It's really loud. It's crazy windy here today. If you straightened one leg out, rebend it and straighten the other leg out. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You can be working towards straight. If you straightened that other leg, you can either bend the knees again, or maybe you try to straighten both legs or work toward straightening both legs for about a minute. And if you straighten your legs, bring them, actually everyone, bend the knees, hug the knees into the chest, carefully rock a little bit from side to side, and then we'll set up for Shavasana. So you have a couple options here, and two of them will be an inversion, a little mild inversion, yin inversion. So let's see, first option though, you can take regular Shavasana, legs lengthened out long in front of you. Maybe you place, if you are someone that experiences low back pain, you can bring the soles of the feet on the earth, feet wide, let the knees fall in toward one another. Maybe you bring a bolster, a couple pillows underneath the knees. That's also good for back pain. You can bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide. Maybe place some props underneath the knees, thighs. And our inversion options are coming up in legs up the wall by bringing one hip to the wall and then spinning onto your back, reaching the legs up, scooting the butt in as close to the wall as you can. Just let the legs relax up the wall. Maybe you take a butterfly against the wall too, kind of combining butterfly and legs up the wall. And, oh yeah, if you don't have a wall and you'd like to take a little mild inversion, you can take a block or a few pillows or a few bolsters or a bolster. Come to lie on your back, soles of the feet on the earth, lift the hips up, place that low back, the sacrum, on the block, and reach the legs up toward the sky in waterfall. Yeah. So find your version, your variation of Shavasana that you'd like to take that will benefit you the most. Once you arrive, close the eyes, relax the face. Notice places that you're holding on to tension and let that go with each exhale. Maybe exhaling through the mouth to really let it out. And then if you decided to take a few exhales out through the mouth, bring the lips to close and breathe in and out through the nose. This time, everyone, letting the breath return to its natural, automatic state, letting go of any breath control. Bringing your focus to relaxation, really relaxing every single muscle in the body, still staying present. Relax every muscle from the tip of your big toe all the way up to the crown of the head. Shavasana. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana longer, please do. But if you're ready to come out, start by lengthening the breath. If you are in reclined butterfly or legs up the wall butterfly, bring the hands to the outer thighs to help you bring the knees toward one another. Reach the legs out in front of you or up the wall if you're by the wall. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, everyone. Circle the ankles and wrists. Rock the head from side to side. Reach the arms up overhead, the legs out long in front of you or up against the wall. Hug the knees into the chest and carefully roll onto the left side. Feel free to rest here for a moment. Then whenever you're ready, trying to keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze, make your way into a comfortable cross-legged seat at the top of your mat. Once you arrive in your seat, reclose the eyes if you opened them. Sit up nice and tall, taller than you have all day. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch at the top. Exhale through the mouth, hands to heart center. Bow the chin towards the heart and take a moment to thank yourself for carving this time out of your day to harmonize your kidney and urinary bladder meridians. And I thank you for joining me. I'm going to end with a quote I thought was fitting. It's actually a Japanese proverb. Fear is only as deep as the mind allows. Bring the thumb knuckles up to the third eye space. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. I hope you had a good class. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like my videos if you like them. I mentioned it on my social media or on my Instagram and Facebook and for the last couple weeks. I'm going to be taking a little break from live streams for the month of April to kind of come up with a new schedule for summer because I'm going to do some more in-person classes, and then I probably will cut back to like one live stream a week for the summer, maybe two, kind of depending, or maybe kind of doing like pop-up ones. I might do some like pop-up live streams in April too if I feel like it, because I know I'll probably get bored with, and I won't really be teaching yet for the month of April in person. I'm going to work on my own practice, which I wasn't bored, but I like making videos and teaching for everyone. So I'll probably come up with a few. I just need to make a little more space for things so I can just figure things out and get the ball rolling on some new things. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Thank you again. Please join me next week. Yeah, because there's a full week left of classes next week. Starting first join me this Saturday for Energizing Vinyasa at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then next week, I'm going to be doing an Aries series. You know, I always like to do my Zodiac series. So that's going to be starting on Tuesday with Yoga for Cyclists at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then Thursday, this class, Yin Yoga, at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, Energizing Vinyasa. And then the last class of the month before the break will be Tuesday, March 30th for Yoga for Cyclists. So yeah, join me. And remember, you can always practice any of my classes on your own time. They're all saved on my YouTube channel, so you can do them whenever you want. And please donate if you can. I have Venmo, PayPal, Cash App.
And yeah, they're all listed on my social media and my YouTube, and anything is really greatly appreciated. And yeah, thank you. Have a really good night. Bye.